So this episode came out on December 12th. It was as I was making my way to Canada. Then I was gone for a week, and then we had Christmas. So right now is December 30th. I did see this episode with my friend like a couple days ago, and I decided to watch it again because I actually literally just criticized the series for not being as engaging or answering questions, or if they do answering questions, they're just speed feeding you all this information that, like, you know, usually you'd find out through lore or through the community, people kind of picking up subtle hints and pieces here and there. After just literally talking about it with people saying, I had one comment tell me, well, you need to go back and watch the whole series again because clearly you're misunderstanding the whole point of the series. And you know, I did end up going back to rewatch the series again from the beginning, and I still stand by my points and what I said in a previous video. However, in this episode 7, this was episode 7, right? Yeah, episode 7, the beach episode, I was actually left kind of like stunned and very well surprised at the ending. However, I did see it coming, and I was even telling my friend this while we were watching it together because she also enjoys the series. She was really irritated and annoyed with me because she's like, how the fuck did you know? And I'm like, I think I've just seen a lot of different shows, animes, cartoons, movies, etc. in my life to where I kind of saw it. And also I had a lot of questions during the entire period anyway because of the mannequin man and what he keeps on saying. So let's go back, let's rewind us all the way back to the beginning. Okay, maybe not this far. So I did say that Zooble's pieces was misaligned, that her left arm is on the right side of her body. You know, she was probably discombobulated, she fell or something, but it was just an opening intro to her being in the box. She's just trying to hide from Caine. She disassembled herself to fit within this box, which I don't know if this is her actual Zooble box. Also, you can see some of the clipping here. Well, my face cam's covering it. Where my mouse cursor is, you can see some of the clipping here, some of the clipping here as well. No, yeah, this is her toy box. Yeah, webcam back. Yeah, I don't know why she moved her toy box from outside of her room to the middle of the fucking floor over here. That's kind of very odd choice and very peculiar. Also, not anything important. I was looking at a couple of comments from GooseWorx themselves, or I believe one of the employees that works on the show was saying that the official hair color of Pomni is supposed to be black, but every time we look at her, it's always like this kind of brown color. Not sure if this is because of the lighting within this world that's reflecting too much color so that it looks brown, but a lot of the merchandising has brown hair. Someone has to question, is Pomni's hair supposed to be black or brown? Because every time we see the merchandising, it's brown. But it's supposed to be black.
The adventure hasn't even started yet.
Oh, well, don't be a narc. Find your own hiding spot.
It's not that, it's just that we haven't even seen Caine at all today.
Like, you can see the eyeliner around her eyes. That's pure black, but, I mean, the hair, even if it's like a little bit too much specular highlights on the hair, it does look brown. Not that this is important to anything. I just find the intro to be entertaining, that she's saying, don't be a narc, you know, that's the, I don't want to do any of these adventures with Caine, and she's like, well, that's the point. We don't know where Caine is right now.
Plus, Gangle was looking for you. Hi, Zooble.
Hi, Zooble. Aw, it's so cute. I love their relationship together. It's very sweet and very innocent and very cute. I love that Zooble is very helpful to everyone here at the circus.
Hello, my little rubber baby buggy.
I thought this was interesting too. I didn't notice this at first, but upon my second watch, I did look at this icon up here because I did see this at first. But my eyes were initially drawn to the drawing up here because I thought it was cute and interesting. I noticed Bubble, I noticed the B over here as well, and I was trying to read the text. And then I completely just ignored the symbol up here, the C and A symbol. But I did realize that, or I did think that when I heard the voice, that it was actually Caine's voice. I mean, it wasn't going to be like something that they would think in their head. If anything, someone would just read this out loud, like Pomni. She would read this in her voice. But the fact that we heard Caine's voice narrating the text, I figured he was off screen somewhere. It's almost like I kind of know his little games here and there. But I thought it was cute and it was still clever and it was funny that he was off camera just reading the note himself. Because, you know, it would piss them off to know that he's already back.
Today, I've decided to go to the store to get
Although, why don't they
ingredients
react?
for my signature milk and cigarette casserole.
What the fuck is a milk and cigarette casserole? What does that even mean?
I hope you can handle yourselves until I get back.
Yeah, that was still funny and cute. I like that reveal.
While it lasted.
So, what's the adventure today?
Oh,
Why would she ask?
for you to
Why would you ask that? Why do you want to put everyone through so much fucking torment and torture, you stupid asshole?
So you can do whatever you feel like.
Alright, sounds fine to me.
You should ask me for suggestions on what to do instead.
Yeah, because he can never let go of the idea that he wants to make adventures for people to enjoy. So for him to say like, yeah, you can just do whatever you want for today, why wouldn't he, allow that before? Clearly, he gets some sort of joy or some sort of reward for making these adventures for people to play on. It almost kind of feels like how developers of the games, when they make free-to-play games, they add cosmetics, weapons, skins, all this kind of stuff. When they make these things for people to use, they get the incentive, which is revenue. People pay for the cosmetics, whether it's for the gun, a brand new character skin, a hat, or in Fortnite's case, a fucking SpongeBob animal companion that hangs out with you, whatever. They make revenue from that. It's an incentive. So for Caine, his incentive is to make these adventures and make sure that they play on it. Now, what does he gain from that? My theory before was that he's an AI program of an old, outdated VR headset game that was in, 4:3 aspect ratio from the first episode of the intro, where it was showing that it was an old-timey game that people just dropped and didn't want to play anymore. And over time, where I'm surprised they don't even reference this at all in the show, but, the graphics update, they get better, and he makes the AI smarter, he makes them improve. He works a lot on this game to be able to improve it. So his incentive is just to not be lonely, to be able to have some companionship or people there with him. And in this episode, we kind of see that too, because he's so overly infatuated with the humans, taking interest in the AI that is Caine. And he keeps on harking on this throughout the whole episode, which he doesn't do that often in previous episodes. So it may just be a bit, or like something that he's pretending, but it really does feel like, even if he is overly exaggerating in this one specific episode, that his purpose is to be wanted and appreciated, and that they want to continue utilizing his services. That's what he's built for.
Oh.
What should we do instead?
No, Gangle.
Wait, sorry.
Great question, Gangle. For an answer, let me consult the Chinese room.
So then Caine goes on this bit with the Chinese room, how there's just a random door here, and he's sending in some Chinese messages, which I don't know what they translate to. I'll put it on the screen this way. I'll put it on the screen if I can figure it out. But some people were translating it to like pain or misery, or I don't even remember, something like that. Let me just look it up right now, actually. Oh, it does translate to egg. Interesting. I don't know what the other ones in the back translate to.
Okay, why Chinese? Does this actually mean anything?
It's a mystery what's behind that door, but I believe it's a fluent Chinese speaker who will give me advice.
Okay, so he sends it back, and what does that say? Oh, it does say pain. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but like, he makes this Chinese door to lead it on as that it's gonna be some sort of mystery. Meant to drag that up a little bit. And then later on, when we get a character introduced, they wanna make it seem like this room is completely unmonitored from Caine, which, why would it be? I mean, he created the door. The joke was him putting something in it to receive something out of it. I mean, he would know what's in it, and even if he would make something that he doesn't know what's in it, why would he not monitor it? I mean, it's within his realm, and we see eyes all over the goddamn place all the time. Why would he make a room to purposely be blocked away from him watching it? You know what I mean? Like, for someone that creates this entire world and you get this fucking all-seeing eyes everywhere, like, how would he not know, or how would he not have access to this place? He would always have access to it. I mean, even in the fucking void in the first episode where Pomni got let out into, he got alerted that someone was, crossing that plane, and he panicked. So I didn't believe it for 1 second that this door was to be hiding information from himself. Like, why would he do that?
What does it say?
I don't know. I don't understand Chinese.
Which is probably another fib. Probably another lie.
I don't know. Why don't you guys hang out at the digital lake? These locations have just kinda been there this whole time. Not sure why you never visit them.
You should throw a freaking beach party.
Good boy.
Oh.
Yeah, I always thought that was I thought that was interesting as well, that Bubble's a boy this whole time. I assumed it was female just because of the voice and like the personality of, like, I just caught up by surprise. I didn't know that Bubble was a boy.
Plus, there are some fun NPCs out there that none of you have even interacted with yet.
Which also confused me too. There was NPCs out there that none of you guys have interacted with. So they were able to free roam this whole time. I thought there was that episode with Gummy Goo where NPCs weren't allowed to roam the main area where the humans are, besides like the sun and the moon and maybe Bubble, because I guess they have that exception to the rule.
I gotta get used to this.
Oh, looks like one of these guys made it through.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait, what?
I know you guys love your NPCs, but if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen?
Sheesh, I thought he'd never leave.
I was pointing that out before, but I didn't know that they would just live there the whole time, because then why destroy Gummy Goo? What was the point of that? All that did was just traumatize and fuck with Pomni.
Oh, my eye! I'll get it.
Hey there, if you want to find my sunken treasure chest, you'll have to try better than that.
This animation was so fucking ugly and disgusting. I know it's like supposed to be those old animated video games, and that also further cements the idea that this is an old ass outdated game, and he's only pushing graphical updates and AI enhancements towards the main characters and to the characters that he wants to play a certain role in his little play and performances. I'm still wondering, why does she need to hold her breath? She doesn't. Oh, she already went through this. All that happens is that your face changes colors, and even later on in the same part, I mean, she does start talking underwater. So why is she like panicking and holding her breath here? That was the first thing I thought of. See?
Yeah, you are definitely not getting our sunken treasure chest. Definitely not.
Do I even want your treasure chest?
See? Like, she's talking underwater now. These graphics are so fucking ugly. Also, I think that Yellowfish is, that one character from Smiling Friends or whatever the fuck. His voice did sound familiar, but it was the fat one. The fat yellow one that's like, oh my god, is that me? Man, I'm so fat. I really gotta do something about that. I gotta make a change, like, immediately. Or whatever that fucking clip was.
Is that really what I look like, man? I need to lose weight fucking immediately. That is really, really bad, dude.
I don't like that series. I don't watch it at all, but I thought that one clip was really funny because at least he's self-aware, and it does look really disgustingly gross to where he's like, oh fuck, oh god, I gotta make a change for myself. I thought that was a really funny one.
Is that your treasure?
Dude, no, they took everything. That was my entire life savings, dude. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh my god, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. That was everything. Oh my god.
Poor fucking guy. It was funny, but I'm looking at these graphics and I'm like, oh fuck, these are so ugly. I hate this.
Did you find it?
Nah, somebody plundered it
Damn,
before I
Ragatha,
could.
fuck! Damn, girl, this fucking goddamn.
Calm down, son. It's just a drawing, not the real thing.
What was that for?
Oh, let me think. When you set me on fire, mailed me a pipe bomb, threw me into an active volcano, I could go on.
My question with Zooble too is that she's able to change these parts. In the gun episode, she had 4 arms. Why not just keep the 4 arms? And also, why would you re-stick this? I almost called it a lollipop. The fucking fan. Why keep the starfish here? Like, why not find 2 arms that match each other or that has fingers? Like, why keep the one that has the claw on it? I've always wondered that. I know she just says that maybe having different pieces on you and not sticking to one thing, being committed to one thing, is like good for her at this point. Like, she's trying to make a change, but still, at least have some kind of, like, if I was Zooble, I would have 4 arms all the time, and I'd be like General Kenobi. Like, I'd fuck around. I would love to have, like, okay, maybe 2 claws, but then the other ones be fingers, because, you know, you need thumbs for certain things.
Aren't you supposed to be miserable about your ability to choose your own body or something?
I've been starting to think that maybe the ability to change is fine. Not needing to commit to one thing all the time.
So he's all glossy and shiny.
I talk about them.
Oh, he is
I
drawing
trust.
very slowly. I see it now.
Good thing I don't have any problems then.
Hello there!
That's a very high res and well animated little shrimp compared to the fish we just saw under the sea. I wonder why he put so much effort into this shrimp just for this gag. Or why the animators also made it so high poly and well detailed. that was funny. I like that. That was cute. You gotta admire the craft of the animations here. They're always really well done, and, you know, they've done really... It is very attractive and fun to watch. And then here's the interesting parts, right? This is what we saw in the little trailer. Also, in the trailers, we saw that there was real humans within the glitch effects in the trailer. That was never seen anywhere in the show or the series. And even in this episode, you don't see it at all, humans whatsoever. So I don't know if that's also a play on Jax's ability to break through the fourth wall. The fact that like the trailers are also canon to the show itself, like they're glitches in the Matrix, they're not supposed to be seen. I'm not sure how that really like works with each other. But yeah, now we got a clear picture of the frog and of Kaufmo, and apparently they were very close, really good friends. Drinking hot cocoa with marshmallows and with cream on the top. So then he's really sad and upset, and he starts staring into the corner of his room over here, which is very dark. And even though you can see into the cracked triangular like little bit in the wall, I thought things would have come out of the hole, but it was actually coming around from the hole. I don't know why he has this intense stare though. Yeah, you see how, so this looks like the frog's hands. It's coming out of the void, but from the corners of it, not from the actual deep darkness within. So to me, in my head, when I first saw this, I was immediately thinking of the abstractions, right? In the darkness where where Kinger likes to spend most of his time in. You know, maybe this is the way to communicate with those that have abstracted, and the hands are coming from Ribbit or Fribbity or whatever the Froppy, whatever the fuck her name is. I think it's Ribbit. I mean, it's gotta be. It sounds the most simplistic and like something very, you know, very on par with this universe. I'm assuming it's Ribbit. But like she's constructing her hand, she's reaching out from the darkness to be able to make contact with Jax and kind of share the experience that she's having with him. And he looks a little bit more calm, you know, he was kind of like heavy breathing, you can see the lines around his eyes, but then when he sees the hand, he just kind of calms down and he reaches out. Almost in a very biblical way, you know, where God and human touched fingers. And this being animated in 60 frames per second was actually really trippy. Also, I gotta censor that. You see his little dingle dongle there? I thought this was a very cool sequence. I like this a lot. And then this kind of like made it very clear that this was from the abstractions point of view. Like this is what they're seeing. So you can see Ribbit over here, and then you can clearly see Kaufmo in the distance right here. So I think Caine is able to abstract people because we don't really see how Kaufmo got abstracted. He was just abstracted in his room. I think it was all part like of Caine's plan that Kaufmo focused on nothing but wanting to leave, and he didn't want to do any more adventures. So Caine just ended up getting sick of it and was like, you know what? If you don't want to stay here, then I'll make you stay. So he decided to abstract him and then send him to the dark abyss, because he did that very easily without any sort of like trouble, resistance. He didn't like fight. He just pointed his finger and dragged them into the hole. And when it came to restoring Pomni and Ragatha from glitching out, he just snapped his fingers and healed them instantly. Like even Pomni was like, oh, it was that easy? Like Caine can just fix this on a whim? So when I first saw that episode, I was kind of like, oh damn, he's like super uber powerful. But after seeing this episode and kind of like the other episodes previous, it just makes more sense that he's the one that's causing the abstractions. Like he's making up all these rules that don't really exist, especially with the one about darkness and manipulating their minds. And I'll get to that in the end of the episode, but still, this is kind of just the point here where Kaufmo and Ribbit are trying to reach out to Jax and show him something, that they're at peace and for him to not worry, but at the same time, they're trying to talk to him and communicate with him, and this is the only way that they can. They don't have words, they don't have mouths, they're abstracted, right? They've spent a lot of time abstracted that I think they found a way to try to reach out to him, and that's what the hands were, why it was literally trying to reach out to him. I feel like everything I said was very redundant. I'm gonna try to cut that down as much as possible, but Jesus Christ. And he was panicked at first, but now he looks more at peace, and then he starts relaxing and smiling because he's seeing his friends. See? He looks more at peace, he's accepting it, he's like, wow, okay, so this is what it must feel like to be abstracted. So I think he's trying to open himself and listen, and he's so deep in thought that when he gets disturbed and bothered and he wakes up, that he has a panic, because he's bordering that line of being the Digital Circus character and also becoming abstracted. He's like right in between there. The animation and quality here is beautiful. It looks so good in 1440p. They also added his face here to the abstractions in the background, So it's almost like they're welcoming him in. There's also something in the background there that I just kind of noticed here. When it's going through these kind of like lettering looking things, they're not really letters. I don't know what these are. They're in very specific shapes, but there's an image in the background of something that we don't see. It almost kind of looks like the shelves at a supermarket, but it's like a bunch of stacked, like, it looks like keyboard keys as well. I don't know what this is. It just looked very interesting. But anyway, when I first saw the sequence, I'm like, man, the creators of this are fucking high as shit. To make something this trippy was really interesting. I did think it went on for a little bit too long though, just a little bit, but it's still a beautiful sequence. It just took up a lot of time. I was trying to pause it here to see if there was anything interesting, but no, just looks like Minecraft blocks or keys on a keyboard. I thought it would have been something important, but I guess not. So why does he hyperventilate? They don't need oxygen to live, right? And then to breathe underwater. So why are they given anxiety? Why are they given fears? If he can mess with their mind, is he also messing with their feelings? Like, is he just fabricating everything? Is this just a place like to torment these people? Like, I don't understand. Also, look, he's got keys to the room here. He's got the sun. He's got his own little diary, it looks like, a die. It's a very colorful and like babyish looking room for Jax. I was actually really surprised to see this, but there are like keys everywhere all over his room. Also, I thought this said 6-7 in the back, but it's a 5 and a 7. I was about to be like, bruh. No, yeah, that's a 5. I had to make sure. Not sure if you can read any of the books here. Something may be important hiding among them. Frank. That damn bastard, Frank. Also, the doorknob is on the left over here. So why does it open from the right? What?
Way to interrupt my nap.
Can we talk?
Your what?
Yeah. He's not actually an NPC. He's a human.
Which I did not believe that at all to begin with. I feel like if he would have been a human, why would he not have been given a body, right? Everyone else was given like this really wacky body, and it probably reflects something of their personality in real life. Why would he just been stuck in a mannequin? Like, to me, that didn't make any sense. But I let the story progress and I wanted to hear it out.
Getting stuck with a blank mannequin body of all things. Caine completely overlooked me. But because of this, I was able to, well, I think I found the way to leave.
Also, in my last video, when I was trying to listen to the audio without headphones, I thought he was trying to say, I think I found a way to link. Like, as in link to the system and connect to their headsets and be able to send themselves in and out of the game. After the video, I was editing it, I heard it, and I was like, oh, he said, I think I found a way to leave. So that's why I put in the, in text that that's what he said. But it was from this moment.
The way to leave.
Yes, the way to leave the circus and get back to the real world.
Yes, but please, keep it discreet.
Yeah, you can see the eyeballs being put into frame and in focus all the time. So to me, he's always watching and he's always talking about my hundreds of all-seeing eyes. You know, so again, why would the Chinese door be a room where he can't monitor anything and everything that you say? He made the fucking door and he's utilized it for a gag, but whatever. I guess the mannequin's logic, it's hiding under my camera, but the mannequin's logic was that if Caine commits to a bit that he doesn't know what's in the door, then he would remain committed to that bit, which I always called bullshit. But then you can also see Kinger's wife down here as well, the Black Queen. So that was also interesting.
We thought you might have a key to the Chinese room.
The Chinese room?
Yes, we're gonna need a place to talk without Caine listening in on us. I have a working theory that Caine will commit to a bit no matter what. And if the bit is to not know what's in the Chinese room, he'll stick to it.
Yeah, that was the explanation. I didn't trust that at all, and even Jax is like, yeah, sure. And this is the inside of his room again, so you can see like the rainbow kind of thing over here, or maybe that's one of the clouds. Kind of dark, I have to increase the brightness later, but at the same time, you see his door is decorated. This was different from before, and the handle's on the wrong side of the door. It was on the opposite side earlier, so this like inconsistency kind of throws me off a little bit. I don't know if the animators did this on purpose, or if this is supposed to tell us that maybe the other room wasn't his room, that's just kind of the way he sees his room.
I'll explain more when we're in the room, but for now, please just trust me. You will not regret it.
And that actually genuinely pisses me off that he said that, because Caine is the one that's actually saying it through the mannequin, that please just trust me, you will not regret it. As in like to please trust Caine that he's their only savior and the only way to keep them happy in this fucking circus. Yeah, so he even has a book here, CNA, the company copy, the Artificial Chinese Dictionary. There's also another one on the desk over here, but I don't know if that's anything different.
Oh, thank God.
I love Pomni's look.
Okay, well, it's open. Let's just get inside before Caine sees us.
I'll go get Kinger.
Yeah, I don't buy that Caine isn't watching all this. Let's get inside before Caine sees us. Like, no, I didn't buy this one bit. Because what would he be doing, right? At this point in time. He's always watching.
We can fill him in later. I don't really know if I'm, ready to face him again after what happened. We've both done things we're not proud of.
That was suspicious to me to begin with, too. Time to start translating. So, where my cursor is at, this one says pick, this one says Joe, this one says this says cabinet, this says cloth, this says bolt, this says Joe again, this one says very, man, a lot of these. This one's egg. It looks like this one says meeting, this one says quilt, this one says home, meeting, specialize, share. This is just the letter A, I guess. These two are Joe. This one says this. Just a bunch of words and stuff everywhere. There's the egg again. This one's A. This one's share. This is paper, but this is paper. This one says maximum egg. This one says interest. This one says meeting.
Caine is an AI.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. We all fucking knew that since the beginning.
Yeah, I think we all got that.
An AI specifically created to keep your minds active. But he's just as much of a prisoner as you are. One that, won't be able to leave with us.
Yeah, I like that Zooble interrupts him. He's like, just get to the fucking point. So he puts a lot of emphasis on Caine is an AI. One that is here keeping you alive. He is very vital in keeping your brain active so that you don't fucking perish. But sadly, we can't bring him with us. We can't save him. Like, he overly exaggerates and hyperfixates so much on Caine instead of everyone else here. And that's where it was kind of like getting a little bit suspicious to me, that I'm like, but why do you care so much though? Wouldn't your priority be to get out? I mean, you're not destroying him as a program. You can still keep him as a program, and even if you did, make another one that's less arrogant, sadistic. I don't even know what to call Caine, because I don't think he does this out of evil. I think he does this because he's just fucking lonely and miserable of an AI. But who knows? I could be wrong.
Get to the meat and tell us exactly how we're gonna leave if we're all hooked up to stasis pods.
Thank you, Zooble.
Yes, of course. I discovered that the stasis pods and the virtual world are both run in the same program.
Which I think I would call bullshit on that. I mean, they have to be connected somehow. No fucking shit. Also, he's very good at drawing. And why is the admin permission passes a hand? So he also lists the rules up here, where they need to get the administration passes and then the Caine's office key. And that's how you spell Caine. I accidentally misspelled it as K-A-N-E, but it's actually C-A-I-N-E. So oopsie daisies. Current lucid, it says human subjects 7, but it's all scratched off. Current abstracted human subjects ? Avoid visual stimulations for virtual world.
If we were to access the master console hidden deep within Caine's office, we could terminate it.
Bolted pressure chamber, oxygen-rich gas mixture, psychoactive compound, nutrient vehicle, or depressurized cardiovascular mechanism.
Well, obviously, except for Caine.
Yeah, he puts so much focus on Caine, like, oh no, sadly, we can't save Caine.
You know what's gonna happen when we do all this? Caine's gonna pop out and say, congratulations on beating the Escape the Circus adventure, and everything's gonna go back to the way it always was.
Yeah, he fucking nailed it. He fucking hit the nail right on the head. Which episode was this one? Oh, was this from the first episode, the abstraction of Kaufmo? Is that where that's from? I do gotta say though, these animated moments are really beautiful looking. I love the lighting that they put in the game. Especially with the abstraction here. It looks a lot better than it did in episode 1. This looks really nice. Also, I'm curious if those placements that he says he was in, if you could actually see those in previous episodes. I don't think they would have thought of this all the way back then. But I am curious to see, like, if maybe there's a little brown blur in the background and you're like, oh, there's Abel. Oh my god. Speaking of his name.
I'm not a creation of Caine. I've suffered just as much as the rest of you.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
I know this all sounds crazy, but if you follow me, you will see freedom.
I hate that all of this is from Caine. God, this actually genuinely pisses me off. Spoiler alert, I should have said that at the beginning. God, fuck. But you already knew. Shut up.
I'll also draw a face on myself, so you can tell me apart from any other blank NPCs.
It's actually pretty well drawn. Good job.
What should we call you? Do you have a name?
I do. My name is Abel.
Which, as soon as he said that, I couldn't help but think, Caine and Abel? Caine and Abel? Obviously, this is some fucking shit. Or this guy's messing with us. Either this human is fucking with us, or this is clearly one of Caine's. But he was so very convincing. Like, he did so much emotional acting to connect with the humans of this world to be able to gain their trust. He did a really good job at it. But he made it so obvious. Like, come on. I knew that this was one of Caine's bullshit things, but I was also like, maybe this is real, maybe. But I'm sniffing some shit under this shoe over here. I don't like that smell. Oh, you can see her arm, her ribbon clipped through herself. Not that it's important. I mean, there's a lot of clipping in this, you know.
Hey, Caine, you around?
Oh, hey, Jax. I didn't know you could ask if I was around like that.
He got summoned pretty quick, almost like he was on standby.
You wanna get dinner together?
Gasp. A human wanting to hang out with me?
I love how overly enthusiastic. I love the animations, you know. They make these rigs so fucking flexy to do so many different like gestures and expressions. It's really cute. You gotta admire the craft. It's very beautifully well animated, very well rigged. And my face cam's kind of covering it a little bit, but even his little hat is in a really nice position. It's just overly satisfying. When you make things when you make art, it looks appealing and attractive, and this is what I can really appreciate about the series. But yeah, he's overly enthusiastic about a human wanting to hang out with him, so he gets excited.
What you want to talk about, friendo? Wait, Jax! I wanted to ask you about the adventures. What do you think I should do to make them more appealing to the Zooble and the Pomni?
So he calls him friendo. So he's really interested in having these humans like him, making sure that they find him interesting, wanting to actually hang out with Caine, because he is, like I said, kind of a lonely AI figure over here. And then he's also asking about specific interests from both Zooble and Pomni, where Pomni is the one that wants to escape the most, or at least she used to be until she accepted all the reality that she's stuck here. It only took one episode for her to really accept that she's here forever, which to me, again, really super sucks, because I wanted to see more of like that kind of panic, like how we saw with Jax in this episode, right? He hyperventilates, he panics, and he's like going through so much anxiety all of a sudden, which he hasn't displayed before at all. But this is what I was wanting to see more from Pomni, was the fact that she was gonna freak out more. It was gonna be like a psychological horror type of thing, and she would be like doing anything and everything she can to get out at any moment that she can. But since the second episode and to the sixth, like, she's just accepted reality, and she's just happy to be here, or maybe not happy, but she's learned to be here, and she's already like accepted the facts that these adventures are just there. But to shift the focus away from Pomni to Jax was very interesting, like the anxiety inducing moments. I mean, let me specify on that. But yeah, he's asking specifically to keep Zooble entertained, because that's his weakest link, but then also Pomni, like, he knows she wants to escape the most, and so he catered this to her to make her the most engaged with the adventure.
Conversation can happen after we've loaded up on digital nutrients.
He's also very interested in the human world. Like, he's constantly looking at microwavable foods and constantly eating. I guess he wants to understand the joys of a meal, even though they don't need nutrients to be like supplemented to their bodies or anything like that. So he's very interested to make friends and to learn about the humans and to gain their respect and admiration, and just, you know, overall not be lonely.
Odds are he'll get so excited that you care about him, he'll freeze up, and you'll be able to grab the key from inside his mouth.
Yeah, so he's already telling you, like, he gets excited from when people want to talk to him and know about him. It's kind of sad and pathetic. He just wants to be loved and appreciated, but he just doesn't know how to do it as an AI to humans.
Do you have any secret hobbies?
Secret hobbies?
Yeah, like things you do on your own that you'd be interested in talking about.
He's very good at acting. For someone that's an AI and not a human, he's very good at acting and pretending to be stunned at these questions, even though he's giving them the prompt to ask himself. It's so odd. It's such a very bizarre, like, need for attention and approval, you know what I mean?
Why, I didn't think a human would ever want to ask me about my... This is the most phantasmical moment of my...
Also, the fact that you would give the instructions through the dummy to tell Jax to reach in your own mouth hole means that you're the sick bastard. So when Jax in a second is...
What you doing there, Jax?
Have I ever told you how it's my dream to get eaten by you?
That's a weird thing to say and want.
But you're the one that instructed him to do it. So if anything, you're the fucking weirdo sick freak. I bet Caine also has a foot fetish on the side. Like, what the fuck? Why would you... You're the one giving him the instructions to reach down your throat hole, you fucking sick weirdo. Kinky ass AI. My god.
It's the greatest picture ever! Oh my god! And I pulled down his pants, and then I took a picture of his wiener in my mouth. Dude! I got his whole wiener in my mouth, see? Dude, how is putting Butter's wiener in your mouth getting him? Because that makes Butters gay now! No, dude, that makes you gay.
Also, I wanted to know if there was anything here that's important. I can probably like pause the video and zoom in a lot to make the text a little bit more readable for myself, but I don't know if this is actual text from somewhere, like in the actual blue screen of death, or if there's like some sort of Easter egg kind of secret wording in here that'll say, this is all a simulation, and if you want to exit out, all you gotta do is punch yourself in the dick, and that'll close out the entire system. That'll just end task within Task Manager. You know what I mean?
Have I ever told you how it's my dream to get eaten by you?
I like how he played it so chill, by the way. Look at his smile. He's just like, yeah, I just want to... I'm a sick freak. I want to be eaten by you.
That's a weird thing to say and want.
Oh, there's the little froggy. Also, I found this to be incredibly fucking stupid. So you mean to tell me that the whole time this admin space was literally down the fucking hallway, this entire area? Like, are you serious?
How much do you know about Kinger?
He's also helped me through some of my hardest times here. Is it weird to say I trust him the most out of everybody?
No, that's not weird at all. I had a similar experience, and I think he might know more about this place than he lets on.
Of course he does. We already knew this information. It's just that no one talks to him when he's in his dark hole. Everyone just waits until an adventure starts just to fucking recruit him for something. But after the adventure, no one decides to go into his little pillow fort with him to then start a conversation. No one does that, and I'm really surprised that that's not happened already. To try to communicate with him, they already know the secret recipe to the Krabby Patty formula, Krabs. They don't do anything about it.
He has been here longer than anyone else.
Like I said, things between us are complicated. I would love to be able to work alongside him again. And you're right to think he has knowledge about this place.
Again, this is Caine speaking. So what Caine is saying, that he would love to communicate with Kinger again and have him be part of the actual circus, like for realsies, but he had to put on a modifier on Kinger to be able to make sure that he doesn't spill the beans on the place or the actual intentions of Caine, which is why he added that mental manipulator, that anytime he's in an area with light, which is all the adventures except the spooky mansion one. I don't know why he didn't think of that one, but you know, anytime that he's in a place with light, which are most of the adventures, he's gonna be his silly self. He's not gonna be able to spill the beans. He's not gonna be himself fully.
It's just, I made a promise.
To a hot dog, which we'll see at the end of the episode.
What's going to happen to the people in the cellar? Like Kofmo and Ribbit.
Oh, it is Ribbit. I was right. I knew it was something stupidly simple like Ribbit, so that makes the most sense. Also, you can finally see her hair is actually black. There you go. It's because of all the spectral lighting that it just looked brown.
I don't know. But let's hope for the best, right?
Kind of moves on fast from that, huh? I don't know what'll happen to the people in the cellar, but let's just look for the best. Yeah, this would be great. Yeah. He doesn't care about the people in the cellar, but he cares more about Caine, the AI. We can't save him. Fuck, god damn it. This is the saddest day ever. We can't save Caine. But everyone in the cellar, they'll be fine. Fuck them. Of course he's not empathetic. This is what was so suspicious.
The administrator zone.
The administrator zone, not Caine's office. I think I said Caine's office earlier, but yeah, the administrator zone being down the hallway from these guys the whole fucking time, I find it to be incredibly silly. Out of the entire circus, or outside of the circus, like under the water, or behind a tree, or in a bush, like, it had to have just been down the hallway from these guys the whole fucking time. Like, I find it to be absurd. Ah, it's me, a Mario, 64, woohoo! Also, damn, Pomni.
Like I was saying, this macroverse.
So I'm wondering if this is the macroverse or offices from the real world, or if this is the maze that he kind of created but didn't finish.
This really intrigues me, and these photos are all I have of the location. I'm obsessed with them. I just wish I had more info on the location so I could accurately recreate it.
So then, yeah, okay, so maybe that is the actual world that he's talking about, and he wanted to recreate it, so he tried doing it with the infinite maze thing, but it just never satisfied him, so he never finished it.
Too bad they cut me off, right?
But how does he get to this conversation? We missed how he transitioned to this. I want to know what brought him to this conversation. And then he says that they cut me off, and he starts laughing about it maniacally. So, did he have contact with the outside world and they were giving him instructions on what to do? Or is he talking about, like, the game used to be an online headset VR, like VR chat, right? Like, was the game once online, but then they had to shut down the servers because the game got old and they didn't want to support it anymore? So now it's an offline, locally stored game? Is that what he's talking about? Or was he communicating with people from the outside world to keep these people's brains busy or something? Like, I'm leaning more on the fact that this is just an outdated video game. I don't think that this is like a whole malicious corporate company, you know, that is trying to like take over the real life world. I think that this is just an outdated video game and the servers got shut down and he's just been losing his fucking marbles, you know, just going crazy that no one wants to play with him anymore. Like Woody from Toy Story, where he has the nightmare of Andy like, I don't want to play with you anymore, and then he drops Woody down a black hole. I think that's the inspiration for Caine. That's my theory. Fuck you. I said what I said, and it's 100% correct and canon in my head. I don't care what the last episode has to say about that.
What's your takeaway from all this? Is it that I'm actually a cool guy with cool hobbies and not that much different from you beautiful humans?
See what I mean? See what I mean? I'm not gonna just regurgitate and be redundant from what I said earlier, but it's so blatantly there. He just wants to be loved and admired and equal with the humans. He's so eager for it. It's psychotic. Also, damn, nice ass.
Sure.
Wow-wee!
Oh, wow-wee! These animations are so cute sometimes. I love it. His little ball arms over here.
I really am trying my best to make you guys happy, and being appreciated for that just makes me want to...
Okay, well, this is a little bit more clear. I was trying to, like, frame by frame, try to read the text on his eyeballs, and Jax, it just looks like, fuck. I'm gonna have to do this again. I just want to go home. He looks so done with this shit.
Celebrate by giving you guys anything you ask for. How's that sound?
Can I get freedom? Can I go home? Can I eat? Can I shit? Can we have sex?
Sounds good. Could I go back to the circus? The gals and I were gonna do something which may or may not be a surprise for a special certain ringmaster we want to show our appreciation for.
Gasp! Say no more!
Also, he said those are the only images that I have of this place, but then he brings up this one other photo of the office. Just a long hallway. Looks like it's being deconstructed because there's papers everywhere. There's a ladder just kind of in the middle of the room. This doesn't look like an active office. Also an old fucking computer. You can see exit signs. None of them have the exit on the back though. There's a CNA logo here, so that's true. Copyright information here. That's about the best that you can get without having to like zoom, enhance, and do other stupid Mission Impossible shit.
I feel like we've been standing here for hours.
Should we tell Kinger what's happening?
Why do you only think about this now? If you've been standing here for hours, why are you doing this now?
We found a way to leave the circus.
Huh? Leave the circus? How would you... No, that doesn't make sense.
We met up with Abel. He says he was one of the original programmers and he knows how to shut off the game and free us.
His facial reactions mean a lot to me. because again, he has the most experience. I think he's actually the oldest one here, and he's seen a lot of shit. So when he's saying leave the circus, that doesn't make any sense. I don't think he means it in the way that like, well, why would you want to leave the circus? That doesn't make any sense. The circus is amazing. I don't think he means it in that way. I think he means it in like, maybe their brains were put in a glass tube or some shit. You know what? I don't even know. Maybe the game rips the image from your brain, your personalities, everything about you, memories, whatever. It's just Caine makes you forget your name. I don't know why he lets you remember your lives and past and everything in such detail, like your height, your weight, your shoe size, you know, how many years you've been with someone, how small their dick is. Like, you can remember all that, but not your names. So I think what his reaction is telling me is that once they're in the circus, maybe it's permanent damage to the body and there's no way to bring that back to the human host. Maybe I could be overthinking it, but his reactions are very important, and I pay attention to it deeply.
Who?
And he doesn't know who Abel is, even in the dark, so that tells you something too.
Continue this conversation later.
Damn, Zooble, thick! Damn, Zooble!
I'm never doing anything for you guys ever again. What's the rush? You got someone waiting for you outside?
Don't you?
Yeah.
So they do have memories, again, about a lot of things on the outside. So his reaction is telling me that he doesn't have anyone that he loves in the outside world. And that's probably why he freaks out later and instinctively decides that he just wants to stay in the circus, because he's afraid of returning to the reality that no one actually gives a fuck about him or cares about him, that he doesn't even have a family, or maybe he does and he disowned his own family. There's a lot of things going on with Jax and his personality that makes me think that he just isn't wanted in the real world anyway. So that's why he panicked and not only hit the red button, spoiler alert, again, like this is already well known, but spoiler alert, you know, he hits the red button to stay within the circus because it's probably his only thing of freedom that he has and his only chances of being liked by anyone, or at least able to get away with it, because they have to remain together, right? I think that's what scares him, is going back to his regular life, because he could be a fucking loser nerd with a bunch of acne, very short, can't defend himself, and he works at a goddamn GameStop and he's a Redditor mod. Maybe that's his actual real life, you know, persona, what he does, and that he doesn't want to return to that. That could be what it is too. This area was really cool. You know, I thought this was going to be within Caine's mind, but all this is just a weird admin kind of themed looking area, and this ball over here is not a giant eyeball, but a marble goopy cum ball that you stick your hand in and you get admin keys.
How many administrator passes should I get?
From the cum ball.
6.
Yeah, 6.
Are you sure? Giving Kinger access to the main console could be dangerous.
Will it be dark in there?
I suppose.
I want us all to have one.
The dark. I think I get it now.
Whatever happens, I'm going to put my trust in Kinger.
He's got a lot of wisdom buried in there, doesn't he?
And then this next comment is very interesting.
Yeah, when he uses it responsibly.
What?
It's nothing. Let's go find the others.
Don't keep information from us if you know something. What happened between you and Kinger?
It'll be clear soon enough.
So when Ragatha said, I think I get it, I thought she was saying that she understood how the game works with the light and dark kind of thing. I thought maybe she had some new insight that she was just about to drop on us, but it seemed like she was just saying, oh, I get it, you want to give him access and you're asking if it's dark, so that way he's in the best state of mind possible. Which, I would have guessed that, but I was really expecting Ragatha to be like, wait, I think I get it now. The rules of the game and how it works and the light situation. I thought she was about to drop something awesome on us, but no, she didn't. And then Caine, speaking through the puppet, Abel, is saying that, like, yeah, he's got a lot of wisdom and smarts, but only if he used it responsibly, staying within my game and loving me, but instead he just wants to leave and exploit it and tell people to just how to get out of here. Which is interesting though, because, you know, if Caine is the one that's actually able to control who abstracts and who doesn't, which it does seem like that's very likely his ability, that he's the one that's able to abstract Kaufmo or Ribbits or Scratch, I believe that's the name, right? Why doesn't he just abstract Kinger? Like, how is he holding on to staying unabstracted from Caine? Why doesn't Caine just get rid of Kinger, you know what I mean?
Why do they look like that?
I do wonder why they are the shape of hands. I'm sorry to keep pausing this every 5 seconds, but it's also to avoid any copyright strikes. It's just that, is it like a play on something where it's like, I have you in the palm of my hand from Caine? Is that what it's supposed to be? Because it's very humanoid hands, and Caine only has 3 fingers. So I'm wondering, why does he make it in a human hand, like for the administrative privileges? And then at the end of the adventure, does he delete these assets? Like, or does he give him the actual administrator keys? Or are these just fake administrator keys? You know, it's actually just a guest key or something, but he just names it administrator just for the sake of the adventure. Like, I really want to know what the next episode is going to be, because I have to see how it continues from how they react to him at the very end.
Wait, Pomni.
Huh?
Did you say something?
Why wouldn't he just speak in the tent? Why did he move out? I think that was Kinger's mistake. I know he probably got excited and he wanted to stop her immediately, but brother, you know your own weakness. You could scream out of the tent and they would hear you. Why did you leave? And even Pomni is like, what the fuck? He needs to tell me something important, but now he can't. Like, she's very aware.
I don't know how long we'll be able to hold these without Caine knowing. Let's go to Caine's office. Caine always did have trouble with cube collisions, for some reason.
And it's interesting too, because one, how does he know that the path to Caine's office is within the air balloon if he can't get up there himself? You know, he sends everyone else from the circus, all 6 of them, up there through the cube collision, you know, exploit that he knows of, you know, which is Caine saying that he's very aware that he doesn't know how to handle cube collisions. But like, how did he know? How does he know? How would he have ever gotten up there if he can't reach it, right? Also, for Caine to utilize his own exploits against the people in the digital circus to then get them on his side is actually extremely fucking diabolical. I like that Ragatha's look in the background. She's like, this bitch.
Fine.
Also, that was interesting. There's like an edge light or something on Jax that like changes colors from here to there, right here. Not that it's important, but I just kind of noticed it. I'm just wondering why it changes colors here.
Oh, like basketball.
Oh, like basketball. Very trippy slide. Actually looks like an abstraction, or mimicking one at least. There you go. That's also how you spell Caine's name appropriately, not K-A-N-E, like my dumbass spelt it. How romantic, the way that he holds Kinger. I wish a woman would do that to me. Fuck!
So, how are you getting up?
I'm not, but I trust all of you to make the right choice.
When we all get out, I'll buy you a beer.
Make the right choice.
This was really fucking creepy to me at first, because I was like, what do you mean make the right choice? Wouldn't the right choice be to just leave the circus? Unless there was a choice where it fucking says like, if you press this button, most of you may leave, but one of you may die. One of you may grow bald, and the other one may have explosive diarrhea. Like, what do you mean make the right choice? I was so confused by this. But it was only after she said when we leave. So it almost sounded kind of threatening, like, make the right choice. You need to stay. You know what I mean?
Time for me to serve my purpose, I guess.
A flippy floppy disk. I grew up with those. So I thought this was very beautifully made and very interesting. I like the music, the atmosphere, the tone, the setting, the curiosity, you know? This kind of looks like an aquarium over here and all these orb-looking things from Inside Out, that Disney movie. You know, these are all the different worlds that Caine has created for these guys. Choose your level. So a lot of these are very interesting. So this is the circus here, like the model. These are all the different worlds and maps that he's created. Another giant hand over here. We got trees, we got a car, hourglass, random shapes over here made of chromium or whatever the fuck. You got the bones of characters. We'll see this a little bit better later. Some sofas, which I don't know why he would have sofas in his office if he doesn't have anyone ever in here. This looks to be like a HDRI map of the outside world, like a regular car. I mean, it could be a map that he's created, but it looks so high res. And then this is the shrimp that got turned into shrimp from the sun earlier. It's just got a little cowboy hat on it and like a sparkler in his mouth. Yeah, okay, so this is the bones for the Gloink. They even have the names here. I can't really see what this says. on the bottom right over here, when I move my cursor, it just says crappy fish. That's awesome. Oh, that says gummy elephant. And this one probably says mannequin. Yeah, this one says mannequin on here. That's the candy world that he made for episode 2 with gummy goo in it. Okay, so a tree, you know, justice, geode over here. That sound effect was really clean. I don't know why, but when I was listening to that on the big screen with some good speakers, that sounded really nice. This is that area that I was saying has fucking Huggy Wuggy, but the pink one over here, Fuzzy Wuzzy, Pinky Winky, Beepy and Stinky. I don't know what her fucking name is. But clearly this was a previous adventure that he, you know, had experienced with his friends Ribbit and Kaufmo, so it was just probably bringing some bad memories for him. This is probably where one of them abstracted, if I had to guess.
I guess this is it. We're leaving the circus.
This was very sweet and very cute, and I really like this scene. I was actually kind of like, holy shit, are they actually leaving though?
Are we still gonna be friends when we're out there?
Why wouldn't we be?
I've only known you like this. Will it be the same when it's real?
It always was real. Everything we felt, everything we've done, everything we are.
Thank you.
Zooble is so sweet. I fucking love her. She's the best, like, therapist, like, female companion that you could ever have. The best bro. This was a really actual touching moment. Like I said, I was actually looking at the screen like, this feels fake, 100% fake, but could it really be that they're leaving? Isn't there like 2 more episodes or some shit after this? So I'm thinking in my head like, no, this can't. This is not the last episode. Because then the last 2 episodes would have to be that they're in the real world and they're trying to figure out how to bring Caine in. And the whole reason I'm thinking like, maybe this is real is because we did see human faces in the trailer multiple times. Real people were in the trailer. So I'm like, well, the real people have to be in here somewhere, right? I mean, they wouldn't just put that in the trailer unless it's like an Easter egg and those are actually the developers of this series, like the animators and whatnot. Maybe it's just Easter eggs and it doesn't mean anything. Or it is something and we're gonna see it at some point. So I'm thinking about it like, are they actually leaving? Also, I'm noticing that the reflections in Gangle's mask are checkerboarded. Is there a checkerboarded floor here? There is. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there is. But I would be thinking that this would be Pomni right now freaking out. The fact that it's Jax almost feels like GooseWorx or whoever's the writer of this is doing it on purpose to make you try to sympathize with Jax as like the favorite character. No, he's a fucking piece of shit and I still hate him. He can go fuck himself straight off and I hate him. I'm just curious why they're doing this with Jax. It's almost like they're trying to humanize him and make him more relatable to the situation. It's like, no, fuck Jax. He's a fucking cunt. I hate Jax. I would be thinking this would be Pomni right now freaking out. Or like, oh my god, is this real? Are we actually leaving? Holy shit. Like none of them are freaking out besides Jax. And then I thought this was silly. A giant empty room with a monitor, no keyboard or mouse or any way to communicate with the terminal and or console. Registry editor, nothing. Task manager, nothing. But just 2 fucking buttons? The red button will close the console and keep the players inside the circus. The blue button will end the game and disconnect all the players.
Kinger, do you want to make the choice?
The choice of what?
Don't we all want to press leave? Why leave it up to him?
What if there's something we don't know?
And she's right to be skeptical. A lot of things that Caine does, it's very manipulative, bullshit, trickery, you know, it's all fake, it's just twisted. So she has the right to be skeptical and so would I. I mean, there's a giant ass button in Caine's office that just says, would you like to leave or stay? Like, that seems overly simple. Like, what's the catch? You know how you make a wish with the genie? And it's like, I wish to have women sit on me all day, every day. And then the genie snaps his fingers and all of a sudden you're a fucking toilet bowl. Technically, you got your wish. You get butt cheeks on your face all day, every day for as long as you shall fucking live until you perish. It could be a trick and only really Kinger would know if there's something to really be aware of. And even when he was in his pillow fort, he seemed like, well, there's not a way to leave. That's not possible. So for him to look at this, I would assume that he would also say, no, this is fake. I would push the button that says to stay because the other button might permanently abstract you or delete you or something. However, we find out that it takes you to a different stupid or nothing place, which could also have been a lie. We don't know.
Maybe we should give it a little more time?
Am I missing something? We all want to leave, right?
Pomni?
Yeah, no.
I love that you can feel the anxiety and stress in this situation. Again, sorry for pausing every 5 seconds, but in the background you can also see Jax kind of like hunched over, like heavy breathing a little bit. Like, I love the details of this episode. This episode was actually a really fucking good one. It was a banger, and this is the episode that I've been waiting for so long. Ever since episode 1, I've been waiting for this kind of episode. I just wish the entire series was more like this, more stressful, more like anxiety inducing. Like, oh my god, is this actually happening? Will they leave?
What if it's a trick or something?
Why would there be a trick console in Caine's office?
My thoughts exactly, but I was skeptical throughout the entire time, Zooble.
We should push it.
Hold on. Let's just wait a second and...
Damn, Zooble! Damn!
We can vote on it or something?
And this is interesting. So I like this part, and I'm probably gonna find a way to stitch this together so I can see it a little bit more clearly in the after edits, but this was interesting. The fact that we got real life images within this animated series for the Amazing Digital Circus actually kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I wasn't expecting this. So I'm not sure if his memories are good or bad memories. If it's good in the way that he's driving home the freedom, right? He's making his way back home, or if this was something terrifying that like maybe he got into an accident this night and I guess like maybe he is like, fuck it, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna play one more game of my favorite game of all time that got shut down years ago. So he puts on the fucking VR headset and then that stabilizes him or some shit. I don't know. Like, I'm not exactly sure what to make of this, but I thought it was really interesting that they added real life clips into this episode. It just was unexpected. So I'm wondering what it could mean, if he's thinking of freedom or if he's afraid to go home. Who knows? Fucking maybe Jax is like a 13-year-old kid. He's an online troll, asshole. You know, he's seen a lot of Deadpool movies, so maybe that's how he knows about the fourth wall and some shit. And he's like very scared to go back home. But he's in the driver's seat in this image or this little clip of a video, so it could be a lot of things. You never know. But the fact that this breaks him and you think he's going to the blue button but he clicks the red, it's like,
what did you just do?
You know what I mean? Like your jaw dropping. And then this pissed me off. I was like,
congratulations, my little cattywampus cucumbers! You picked the good ending!
No, yeah, this actually genuinely pissed me off. I was like, no fucking way. This was fake. Oh my god, I knew it too. Again, in the back of my head, I was talking with my friend about like, well, he's always lying about this and that, and why is the puppet man not interested in Kinger at all? Like, why would he not want to make amends? And like, why is he constantly insulting him and degrading him? But like, he's so apathetic and praising Caine for all his good works as an AI. The whole episode, I was talking to my friend, and she was getting really irritated with me because it's like, no, why would he lie? It seems very convincing. It's a good story. And I knew it, and I was hoping that they would actually leave, but then I saw this and I'm like, you dirty motherfucking rat. I knew it.
Great job playing your part, Abel.
Yeah, and then clearly this solidified the fact that it's fucking Caine and Abel.
You think I could get a raise after that performance?
Oh, you're getting too smart. Time to delete.
Yeah, and then there's the wiener. He made a promise to a wiener with mustard on it. That son of a bitch. Also, he actually deleted him. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that like specific animation. The fact that he deleted someone where they kind of like zap out of existence. I think that's to prevent other AI from catching up to the intelligence of Caine. It's just that he wants to make them smart and be utilized for a specific goal, but AI over time, which Caine proves he's AI, you know, they become too smart. They become too self-aware. They dig too deep into the code, you know what I mean? To where they can start manipulating the world, and he doesn't want to have a competitor. He wants to maintain the world himself. So before that AI, Abel, gets too smart, he actually deletes him rather than despawns him, which is a different animation, I think, from what we've seen with Gummy Goo, where he just kind of he just blips out of existence. I could be wrong, maybe he did get zapped, but we did see Gummy Goo in one other episode after that little blip that he had, so I think he just despawned Gummy Goo. I don't think he deleted him. I think that's the first time we've seen that animation of him deleting an asset from the game permanently.
What would have happened if we picked the other button?
Oh, I didn't put too much thought into that one, cause I knew you'd never pick it. So I left that up to Bubble.
I made it take you to Shrimp Town.
Yeah, it was gonna take you to Shrimp Town.
That could have also been a lie. Like, we don't know. We don't know if Bubble is the voice for Caine or just another AI equal, or maybe Caine's little brother. I don't fucking know. It's interesting that he keeps him around, though, but he doesn't keep around Abel. He keeps around Bubble.
You dirty liar! You scumbag! You made me... You got in my head. You just lie about everything, don't you?
Huh?
You can mess with our minds too, can't you? The stupid sauce, the vegan thing, God knows what else.
Our names?
Now, hold on, guys. Wait. I may have the ability to add temporary modifiers.
I love that you can see Zooble getting furious right now. Kinger is just staring blankly. I don't need to really disable the camera for that one, but I will anyway because it's Kinger. Look at the cute little guy. Look at him. But I love this part. I love that Jax finally calls him out on his bullshit and he breaks, right? Mentally. Because he is calling out something that I literally pointed out days before the episode 7 launch, was the fact that Caine lies about a lot of things. He probably could lie about their names, maybe all their backstory. How the fuck would Zooble know that she does bartending for all that time, but you can't remember your fucking name? Like, why would he gatekeep something so minuscule, your name? I mean, sure, it gives you your identity, right? But like, you remember everything else about your life, every other facet of it, like probably when you paid for your last phone bill. But not your name? And what about the stupid sauce? You can't mess with people's minds, but how does that affect the character in the game then, right? I've always pointed that stuff out before, and I'm so glad that now they finally addressed it and they're talking about it.
I may have the ability to add temporary modifiers to make adventures more interesting, but that's it. If I did anything more, trust me, it would not end well.
Scratch. The first abstraction.
Hey! I didn't say anything like that!
And then actually, in this bright ass fucking room, the fact that Kinger was able to actually be within the right state of mind for a minute to mention the first abstraction, Scratch, and then for Caine to react in this way, to be called out on his shit, was actually really fucking good. I love that so much. So, people were waiting for an episode like this for a long time, myself included. For a long time, we've been waiting for an episode like this where they're answering some questions and people are finally calling them out and like talking about this kind of thing. And now I'm so excited for the next episode because I want to know how it continues from here. They better not like pretend to work with Caine and commit to these bits and, you know, continue living as normal. I hope they don't do that. I hope they actually grill the shit out of him and they bombard him with more questions and accusations, and just to see if that'll make him glitch out, because Zooble's already been doing that. She already knows that if you make him feel bad about himself, he starts to panic. As an AI, I don't know if that's a programmed thing that he can even have to begin with, but it starts glitching out everything around him when he doesn't feel appreciated and he doesn't have friends and he starts panicking. So I wonder if that's a way to just genuinely crash the game. And if it crashes the game and it reboots, does that kick people out or does that delete them from the cache?
Come on, guys! You know I'm just here to have fun. Questioning's over. Your prize is this lovely gift basket of soaps and lotions. Stay pregnant, have a good night. Fragrant night, bye!
And to end with such a cheery note is actually fucking diabolical. That is crazy. If I had to rate this episode, I would rate it a 9.5 out of 10. It is like borderline the most perfect episode since episode 1, honestly. Episode 1 was the hook. Everything else in between was, I wouldn't say fillers, they were still story oriented, but they just weren't as impacting or important or anything like this. Not even close. Not even by a mile, you know? So I was really glad to see this episode. This one really put a smile on my face. This one was a good one. But no, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the whole thing. That was an hour 42 minutes. Holy shit. I paused so many times and I spoke so much. But yeah, basically, I saw this episode, little plot twist coming. Jax even points it out himself because he's very skeptical. I just don't know about the fourth wall break stuff. I want to know about that because is this all just performative for Jax? Like, is he also one of Caine's creations? Would that be something of a like that they would throw at in the end of this? The fact that like he can break the fourth wall, but he still participates in these emotional moments, like that he's breaking down, he's going psychotic, that he's losing his fucking marbles. Like I'm very curious about the fourth wall stuff and why Jax is the only one who can do it and not Caine. Or maybe Caine can, but he just doesn't tell us anything. Like Caine is such a fucking liar about everything that it makes you want to second guess a lot of these rules, right? I do think though that going beyond the void, he says, not even I know what's out there. I'm calling some ass barf on that one. I think maybe that's leaving the partition, so maybe like leaving the hard drive space is what I mean by that, or the RAM space, it just runs out. Maybe that like defragments you and deletes you from cache. Maybe that's like a bug that you're going too far out of bounds and then it just like permadeaths you or some shit. I don't know. I'm trying to think of this in ways like in tech. What would happen if you go beyond the void? Because he has technology to detect if you're there, so he wants to hold you back from the void. Maybe that is an exit. It makes you leave from the partition. It makes you leave from memory. It clears you like from the database or whatever the fuck. You know, your save file, your settings, I don't know, like it's so interesting. The amount of questions that I have for this series and the way that it's like the leading next in the next episodes. I'm very, very interested to see how this is gonna play. And I really want there to be a season 2, season 3. I don't want this series to end because I feel like this series is very fucking well done. It is very well made. It's important. It's a good analogy of a series. I know someone was saying that this is a short series, so it's only going to be these 9 episodes and then that's it forever. They're never going to touch this shit ever again. And that's really, truly heartbreaking because this series, this creation is so culturally phenomenal to the internet. It's a good story. It's a good story. It's one of their better ones too. Like I said, I've seen some of their other stuff and I wasn't very well captivated by it. I wasn't very well interested in it, but this one's great. This one has a good impact. All right, now I can finally read the comments and see what people are saying about it. Oh, is this actually like a community theory? The way you can tell that right away that Abel was too good to be true. He was confirming all the long-held theories that the fandom came up with. Kinger being a past programmer, CNA being an evil corporation, Abel being the name of the co-creator, all of it. Even the reveal was still shocking, seeing how low Caine will go to keep them online with him. Was that actually like a theory from the community? I've not been a part of any of the Reddits or Twitter theories. I've not actually read any of the comments from the other episodes. I just kind of watched these episodes and just like, wow, that was interesting, that was fun, and then I watched the next thing. I don't really go to the comments because they're usually filled with shit, but this episode was so interesting that I wanted to see what people were thinking about it, so I'm looking at a couple of these comments. I'm not going to dive too deep into it because I don't know what's going to be confirmed or what's just another one of these community-made theories, but if this is true that the community has actually made this backstory for Kinger, the CNA corporation, all that. Wait, so hold on a second. Is this true then? If the community made this and posted it to our internet, does that mean Caine is able to access the World Wide Web? Wait, so did Caine actually go to Reddit and read these theories and then was like, I could add that to one of my adventures? And then he did? I mean, okay, we're talking about breaking the fourth wall here. Jax is able to break the fucking fourth wall. So that would actually be really fucking cool if this is true. I feel like this is kind of true, honestly. I can kind of see it. A lot of people make up a lot of different stories for stupid shit. I can kind of see this. It's like if Scott Cawthon actually confirmed all the FNAF theories in like one more game, or the movie, let's say. And he puts, and like, he's actually saying that the community was 100% right, and he puts that into his film or game, right? That's actually really fucking cool. Does Caine have the ability to access the internet? That is an interesting question. No, because he said he was cut off, right? I mean, he wouldn't, or maybe he was cut off from talking to the actual administrators. Maybe that's what he meant. But can he access the internet? That is an excellent question. But no, that was really good. The fact that Caine is also very aware with his exploits within the game, like the cube collision and all that, means that he's always constantly watching. He's always observing and he's aware of so much more than we could possibly understand. But it doesn't look like he's monitoring the abstractions, right? Because even when he was speaking through Abel's body, he was saying that, I don't know what's gonna happen to those people down in the cellar, but let's just try to remain positive and move forward. Let's all get the fuck out of here except those guys. And sadly, not Caine. We can't bring Caine with us. Oh, Caine, poor Caine, sad Caine. Oh no, I wish we could bring in Caine. But those guys in the cellar, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen to them, but fuck them. Maybe that is the one and only place where they can probably communicate, is the absolute darkness with everyone within the void. Two interesting questions. If Caine is actually ignoring everyone in the cellar, all the abstractions, if he's ignoring them and then they have their own time to kind of make peace and meditate, like with Kinger's ex-wife, you know, she was calm in the darkness and so was he. And so they're figuring out ways to breach out of the darkness and reach to Jax and try to communicate with him. Like, they probably know a lot of shit too in the darkness. You would just have to find a way to communicate with them or get into the cellar. Maybe that's the other episode that they'll have, is that they'll want to go see how Kinger would react in the void and if he can communicate with his ex-wife, because he said that, you know, he felt something and for a moment he was able to touch her and, you know, he was fine. He didn't abstract or glitch out or anything. And then also if Caine can access the internet. If that was a fan theory and he put it into his actual virtual world, I mean, he had to have picked it from somewhere, right? That is so cool. I really like this series. Again, okay, I'm gonna stop glazing it. That's about it. I already said what I thought about it, what I'm hoping for the next episodes and all that. I think I got everything out of my system. I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing. Give me like 1 second to see if there's other comments that I want to react to. Yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about. If I'm missing something, let me know in the comments and I'll try to respond to it as much as possible. But like I said, great episode. I really enjoyed it. I wish the entire series was like this. But I guess you can only get one real banger of an episode if you have a couple of weak episodes. And no, I'm not talking about One Punch Man Season 3. That shit was an atrocity. I don't care if the last episode was animated in a fairly decent light, because everything else was just shit. So that doesn't count at all. But no, yeah. This is a good episode. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to leave this last frame here because you know why. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. Be safe. Thanks for watching. I can't wait for episodes 8 and 9. I really want to see them cook Caine and the kind of responses and reactions. And it has to be good. It has to be good. We're at the last 2 episodes. Something big has to happen at some point. I mean, it did now, but like something big, like answers. I really hope that they do get a little... This might sound fucked up. I do hope that they get stuck in the Digital Circus because I do want there to be Season 2s and Season 3s. I really want to see more of this series, and it's going to really suck when it ends. And hopefully it releases digital, or I know it's on Netflix too, right? But I would really like for it to be on Blu-ray or something, like on a disc, because I'd like to own this series. But no, yeah, again, like I said, have a good day, be safe, thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and yeah, see you guys next time, I hope, I guess, maybe, I don't know, it's up to you, bye.